Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
Movie.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex?
Klopex. Klopek.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Cult Film and Review. I'm your host, Cody Everett, and this week we are talking about the 2010 film Rubber. So let's burn some rubber and just start the show. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Cult Film Review. We are going to cover Rubber. This was Mike's pick. So we're going to cover ourselves with a rubber.
Yeah.
This is Mike's pick. Mike, what made you decide to pick Rubber?
It was a recommendation to me. I had never seen it before.
Did you know anything about it going into it?
Absolutely nothing other than it was supposedly horrible.
Okay.
So I picked it as torture to all of you.
It worked.
Good.
That was the intention?
No.
What was the...
I was interested in it. People,
Don't speak to everyone, Cody. Don't speak
things.
for everyone, Cody.
No. Okay, so
it was torturous for Cody.
No. Not 100%.
Just giving away your review now.
I always do.
Yeah, he nailed the intro in one take. Guess what?
I had seen
Hates the movie.
I hadn't seen this.
No, I hadn't seen it either. But
I
remember.
I think I'm the only one who has seen it.
I remember when this movie came out and there was a buzz about it. Everybody's like, "You got to see Rubber. It's so good." And I looked at the movie like I knew for some reason I wasn't gonna like it, right? And I never watched it until the podcast forced me to.
That's what this podcast is all about,
That's
guys.
what it's
Definitely.
It is true, yeah.
It's to force us to watch films that we otherwise thought were horrible.
So,
and we're right many times.
If you don't know what this movie is about, it's about Robert the Tire, who has psychokinetic powers, and that's pretty much it.
That's not it.
No, it's really about the reason of or no reason. It's about no reason in film.
We shouldn't even try to understand.
No, there's no way you can really analyze the film because the film
way.
is about no reason. So this entire film is no reason.
Do you think that was kind of a cop-out? Like, to be like, this film's about nothing, so now I'm going to experiment.
No, what about Seinfeld?
I would say I would say yes to that if the film wasn't on technical side of things so fantastic.
Yeah.
Like there was obvious conscious thought that went into everything that happened within this film.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a lesser film, if it was a really shitty film, then I would say oh yeah, they definitely went back and reshot that intro just to cover their ass. But I think it was by design from the beginning to the end.
And I agree with you. I just didn't know if people would be more likely to take this film as an art film. You know what I mean? Just
I would say yes. In a way, it's well, I don't. It's kind of say yes and no because also I feel in a way it's satire and spoof.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on horror films. In a way.
Do you think just on horror films? I kind of saw.
Oh, I definitely think on horror films.
I didn't. What specifically?
Dude, it's all okay. So I think the audience has a lot to say, which we'll get to that in a minute. I think the audience has a lot to say about it. I think the fact that it's a tire going around killing people, right? You have the cliche of a kid who sees the monster, but no one else believes him because he's a stupid kid, and he has the abusive father. Another horror movie cliche. There's just all these horror movie cliches in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think more slasher films. Because let's think about this. What's the one thing you can do to a tire to stop it? You slash that tire. Slash the tire.
That's not how it went down.
No,
set up his own joke and knocked it down.
No, but I do think it was more slasher, right, than horror, because it wasn't.
I would say
it's the
all
same
film.
genre. It's the same genre. It's just a slasher's a subgenre of horror.
I would
Yeah,
say,
but it
I would
kinda
say
felt-
film in general though. I would just say if it's I wouldn't specifically say it's just horror film they're really mocking. I think this is film in general because the audience aspect of it isn't exclusive to like the comments they're making. It's not exclusive to horror. It's exclusive to all film. And
No, I
whether
think
you
he's
get
saying
it or not.
I think he's saying something about
Here's a
the horror audience.
I'm asking.
I didn't see
in,
that.
in terms
Oh, I
of
disagree.
in terms of genre. I'm sorry. Difference between slasher and horror. Isn't a commonality in the slasher horror genre that the point of view is from the killer rather than the victims?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, no, not all the time.
Well,
No,
okay.
mostly.
I'm not saying not all the
Mostly,
time, but
though.
isn't that a lot? Like, isn't that a
In slasher films,
But that-
you mostly
but
get
that-
you get the villain vision basically.
yeah, right? And that's what I felt like throughout this whole film was everything was from the tire's point.
but
of
also-
Did we get that in Scream?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm just asking. I don't
Yeah,
really
we
know
did
the
the
you
answer.
do,
intro.
yeah.
The
Anytime you
intro.
like that whole point where like your point of view from the killer and you can tell like
Well, they do
you're
that.
seeing it from that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do that, and even like his story is like somewhat of like if you replace that with a person instead of a tire, you would have a horror movie character. Like honestly, you would.
Like if
Yeah.
that was a critter or something, or if that was
A person.
Michael Myers. Or,
yeah, exactly. It would have been like that's why I think it's a commentary on horror movies.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Well,
Honestly,
I mean, that tire could just be like a mental patient or something.
but that okay again,
That's
that would
fair.
still go
yeah,
into
but-
the horror realm.
You could project any person or you know.
But what he
onto the
does,
tire.
but what he does is horror. It's not.
it's not necessarily. I mean, there's sci-fi movies where they do the same thing. That's not horror.
He's looking at the girl in the shower. That's another horror
Yeah.
cliche, right?
I don't think
there.
that's no. I think.
Oh
I think
my
you
God, yes,
I
it
think
is.
you
I think it
no,
is
no,
to
no.
a degree.
I think you took that totally the wrong way because this whole movie is about this tire suddenly becoming self-aware. So he's not looking at the girl in the shower like, oh, this is a horror cliche. It's him like, what is this woman?
He's
Like, what
attra-
is this figure? What
he's
is this
No, he's
creature?
attracted to the woman. It's the only one
Yeah,
he doesn't
because-
kill because he's attracted to it.
Yeah,
and it's in a romantical way. I don't think.
I think it's a more of an infatuous way that the same way that like some like prepubescent teen boy would fall in love with like his babysitter. He'd be infatuated with the person. He doesn't know why. It's just something interesting and different.
sounds like something like a horror movie character who has like some kind of brain defect would do. You know what I mean? Like a
No,
little
I
slower
agree.
character.
There's a horror element to this
There
film,
is.
but
You
I
can't
re-
get out of it.
I really see, and maybe it's the structure of the story, but I really see just straight dark comedy like with this film.
Absolutely, this
Mhm.
is total dark comedy.
Oh, it's got comedy, but that's where the spoof and satire come in.
Agreed.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's spoofing and satiring horror films, and that's where the comedy comes from. And even its audience. That's what the audience is. I believe he's making fun of the horror movie audience, or audiences in general,
Now,
you could say
Chris,
too. But
Chris, you know something a little bit of the director, right? You read up a little bit.
No, I don't know that much about him.
Well,
I just know
does
some other
anybody?
films. that he's
Okay, of those films, are they all horror films?
in.
Or,
No,
Okay.
no, there's comedy.
So I
They're
guess here's a
comedies,
question.
I think.
Did he just fall on a genre? Because for him to direct it specifically to horror, like why couldn't he have chosen any genre?
What
Why
I,
couldn't it be this attire that falling
Maybe
in love with
he-
a woman? It's a
maybe he had
romantic comedy.
maybe he had something to say about it. Like here's my second question. Maybe this will kind of lead into it because it's about the audience, which I think the audience is a very important part of this movie. Is the director? Is he? So is the audience in the movie? So we're okay. So the movie it's really hard to explain because this film's so fucking meta. The movie audience, right? The audience in the movie is representing a movie audience.
the spectators in the movie are representing an like outside audience, like what we are.
Yes, like
Yes.
what we are.
Yeah.
So what do you think that he's trying to say with the audience in the movie about the audience who's watching the film or audiences in general?
I'm trying to figure out why they killed all those people.
I think
That's
that
not clear to me.
See, that's where I think this comes in. I think that it plays off the cliches of audiences, but then I think it's also saying something about the movies. Like again, saying something about horror movies and saying that they've gotten so no reason or ridiculous that you've killed off your audience. And he just did it.
I don't know
He
because
did it physically.
the whole opening monologue, he doesn't discuss. Does he even discuss?
Well, because I think he's saying they're starving the audience because they starve the audience in the film, right? They're starving the audience for a good horror movie. They're so hungry that they'll eat complete shit, poison themselves to where they won't go back.
I mean, he brings
Is
up.
that too much into it?
I don't know. I'm
it's
just
just
thinking
that-
about what you're going to say with the opening monologue. Some of the films that he brings up. Like
None of them were horror, right?
E.T., JFK,
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Pianist. Like, or The Pianist, however you want to fucking
Yeah, it's a
pronounce that
pianist.
word.
It's a pianist.
it's like not all these are horror films. The only one I see is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Which
part-
is the only
or
one that
the-
he
the
says
original.
the very excellent Toby Hooper film,
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, he does say
So
that.
he's definitely a fan
Yeah.
of horror films.
Mhm.
But to lump in, okay, for you to make this point to state that he's saying that like horror is somehow on this decline and it's feeding audiences poison, why would he lump in his favorite film into the monologue to suggest that it's such a great film? I took it as he's saying that, hey, look, all great films have a little area of no reason. Let's make a whole film about no reason and explore this idea of it. That's how I took it.
I think that's a legitimate
I
thought
think
to have on that.
I-
Like it's
I
pretty
don't dis-
deep.
I can't disagree with you on that because I definitely see that in the film too. But I think he also said the byproduct by what his story was based off of.
Now,
I think the reason he said that all that stuff about no reason was to like he basically gave a green light to the audience to completely roll with whatever the hell he threw at
Yeah.
them. That's all it was there for.
Because that's the only way you can explain this movie.
Okay.
He
And
said,
I
just go with whatever I show you.
once
You don't have to try to put it in any sort of reality or realm of real existence.
I was
Just
watching the
take
whole-
it as it is.
I was watching the whole beginning and was like, but it's my favorite part of the movie, by the way. I was watching the whole beginning and I was just like, what the fuck? This is so stupid. And then the lieutenant gets out of the car and gives
Out of the trunk.
out of the trunk, grabs a glass of water and gives this whole no reason speech, pours the water out, and
Yeah.
like it was just perfect. It was perfect. And
Didn't
then
someone say, why did he pour the water out? Like following that speech, it was pretty funny.
I think so. And then then it was like after that, I feel like this movie is just, and it's not incredibly long, but it's too long.
It's an hour and 22 minutes, I think.
It's
which
not
is
long.
No, it's
pretty-
like an hour and 15.
So I think it went by fast. And honestly, Cody, I want to just bring it back to like the horror movie
Yeah,
thing
go
we were
ahead.
talking about. I think maybe the music and the sound design had a lot to do with the feeling that you got. Like
Yeah.
I think it did like paint that image a little
Okay,
more.
and that's by design. You don't just throw music in there to not elicit an emotion. So if it's
But a lot of
eliciting
it
that
was
emotion,
pretty silent, and all you got was the sound of the rolling of the tire, which was really well done, by the way. It's like something that stood out to me. It was like, this
Yeah,
tire
the
actually
the
sounds like it's
sound in this-
rolling.
but you can't.
Sound
ju-
in this film
you
was
can't.
fantastic.
You cannot not. You still have to say that the parts where they put music in, if it is meant to be in that part to elicit that emotion, like fear or horror or something like that, in the soundtrack, then it's there for a reason.
I think there's
Why?
moments of horror.
The
there are
simple fact,
moments
the
of horror
simple
in this
fact that
movie.
you're saying it's there for a reason completely conflicts with this entire film's purpose, which is no reason. He could put any music to it he wanted to. You're creating your own thought onto it. Not that the director had any intention to pay homage to anything at all. He didn't have a reason to do anything. He just did what he wanted to do.
I watched an interview with another independent filmmaker who basically the film he made totally came off as like a horror film, and it was really intense and dark. But he said when he was writing the script, it was written as a comedy film, and it just came out. Like,
Actually,
it just people just perceived it that way. But the way he sees the script is more in a comedy realm.
What if I told you this? The first 20 minutes or so of the film where the tire becomes self-aware is like basically completely based off of like the first 20-30 minutes of the movie WALL-E.
What?
How Wally's going around in the beginning, he's discovering stuff. He with no exposition, there's no dialogue, no nothing, and it's just all through actions that you kind of learn
Okay.
who this tire is.
Do you
Like
know for a
that-
fact that it was based off of Wall-E?
Yeah, I read an interview with him. He said specifically that, and the audience is a reference to Greek chorus, which I'm not aware with Greek
Yeah,
literature, but the audience is they're the Greek chorus. I don't know what that means.
What does that
in-
mean, Mike?
In Greek tragedies, the chorus is often participating in the storytelling. So, like, something will happen to, like, Agamemnon or something like that, and then the chorus will be like, Agamemnon ran through the forest on that day. Like, it'll be
Right.
something along those lines.
Yeah, so it's
There's
like
an
theater.
active
It's almost like
participant.
theater,
Yeah,
like
so this
stuff
is-
you've seen that.
I want to stop at one thing. If all these things are being put together, like him, I thought that opening sequence with the tire slowly and surely becoming self-aware of its surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and then actually taking on a characteristic of it's clearly violent. like it learns real quickly. Like it starts with the bottle, right? And he kind of taps it a few times, like maybe to see if it's alive, maybe not to see if it's alive, whatever. And then the first instinct it has, I'm gonna roll over it. Then I'm gonna roll over this scorpion and kill it. And now I'm gonna try to roll over this bottle. Oh, what? I can't kill it? I ain't going for that. I'm not doing this until I get this thing killed.
It's like he became so full of rage that he couldn't crush the glass bottle that he discovered his
Right.
psychokinetic powers.
Okay, so if this director's whole purpose was to make a film for no reason, he failed.
I agree.
Because there's no way you can put these storytelling devices that are so obviously used to elicit a response from you to make you understand, to give you an idea of where the character is going and what's happening and stuff like that, unless you have a reason.
I agree.
Hey,
here's the problem I have with the film, and this is the problem I had with the film the whole time. I'm trying to figure out whether or not it's just being witty or is it trying to be smart? Because if it's trying to be smart, I think he failed. If he was trying to be witty, okay.
I think it's both.
you think it would be better if he had just taken out that intro where he didn't give the no reason speech?
Well, I think he proves one thing for certain, is that it does not. You don't have to give a reason to feel for or understand a character's motivations so much, as long as you follow by the numbers how to introduce a character and elicit a response towards an audience.
Maybe the biggest no reason in the film is why does the tire come to life? That's the biggest no
I
reason.
think-
But
No.
that's the thing we don't need to understand.
Yeah.
All we need to understand is, yes, it wants to be violent for some reason. Oh, look, it has an infatuation for this young French woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, it's looking in the mirror. It didn't even know it was a tire.
Yeah.
I think the
Like-
whole. I
Great
honestly
scene,
think.
by the way.
I think the whole speech in the beginning is to explain the movie away. Honestly, of this is what we're doing. It's so ridiculous that we have to tell you it's ridiculous so that you can be involved in the movie. I feel like emotionally.
And another
Honestly.
another thing I want to talk
I'm
about
saying honestly
is
a lot. Tonight.
that
I don't know.
that police officer as well. It's known in literature as an unreliable narrator, is what he is. Like, I don't get the total impression that he knows exactly what he's talking about,
No, not at
or
one
that he
point.
has a complete understanding of what's going on.
Not at all.
So we can't really take his word 100% as being truth, because if he doesn't know what the hell is going on, then how can he tell us 100% what's going on? How can we take him for his word?
How can you, Chris?
Well, we're on the journey with the tire, so we make our own decision
Yeah,
on
but
that.
here's the thing too. Like, you don't really get the impression that he even knew the tire was an active participant in this film that he was clearly putting on.
Doesn't seem like anybody knows anything that's going on. I
Yeah,
was
they
trying to
did.
figure out. I was trying to figure out who's got it figured out in this movie.
They
and
knew. They knew.
Did he? He seems pretty shocked when he sees the thing blow the
He's
dad's head off.
He's acting.
I don't know.
That's why he wanted the people to
Does he
to
mention
be
the
dead so
tire
he
ahead
can
of
be
time?
like stop acting and they can end the play basically.
Well, that has something to do with what I thought Cody's question was about. Was in what way does this audience relate to the movie that they're watching? I took it as,
What do you mean? Relate?
well, he was talking about why did they kill off the audience, right? Why kill off the audience? Now, it's either the filmmaker making a conscious choice to kill the audience because maybe he has some animosity towards audiences or something like that, which I don't know that I believe that was the case at all. But I do think that he might have been trying to make a commentary on the relationship between an audience and art, which is,
Well, yeah.
like, does art exist unless an audience is there to view it?
that point you're making is perfectly summed up with that scene towards the end where the dude in the wheelchair's like, I don't get it. Why are you doing this? And he goes on this whole thing, and the cop's trying to explain to him the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, well, whatever, we'll speed it up. And he's like, fucking asshole, and he closes the door like that. I think that's maybe the point he's trying to make. Like, what the fuck does the audience know? Like, I give a shit about them.
This is
why
true.
why do you think the vet? What was his name? Lieutenant something. Why was he the only one left alive? What did we think the
He
symbol?
didn't. He didn't eat.
You didn't eat the turkey.
No, I know, but why did the director and the writer choose the same
Because
person to make him the guy that lasts?
Well, I can
outlasts?
tell you right off the bat, if the rules of this universe apply and they stay static, if he had died, the film would have ended.
So that
You had to have that one guy
yeah.
because that's the only reason they keep going
why
on.
couldn't-
I think
Why
Chris is
couldn't it
saying,
be
why
one of
couldn't
the
it be any
other
of the guys?
ones?
Why
Why
couldn't
couldn't it be-
specifically him?
Okay,
But
well then maybe this goes back
that's
to
what
his
Chris
whole
was asking.
no reason. There's
No
no
reason.
reason why we picked this guy over the heavyset film lover
there is-
or the black woman with the.
Well, then this movie is fucking pointless, kind of in that
It is.
sense.
It is, but there also is a reason because they need that character to drive the story forward. That's what I'm saying. There is reason in this film.
Yeah, if he died, the movie would have been over. Yeah, so his
In the
his
rules of
reason-
this universe, yeah.
his
No,
reason
Is this like a
exists is-
game that they're
No,
playing?
even in the
Like-
movie, because
No.
he dies at the end of the movie. So even in the movie, when he dies, the movie's pretty much at its end.
Mhm.
I mean, it carries on to show that the monster still lives on, and then it's got an army of other monsters going with it to kill more people because there's just a trail of bodies behind it, but it's not a horror movie. Just saying. And leaves it open for like a horror sequel. Again.
horror sequel.
Yeah, it's Rubber 2.
Bro,
Attack of the Killer Condom.
this is what all sequels in horror movies that have sequels do.
Yeah.
They leave it open for a sequel with an ending like this.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch
You
of
want
tires.
to franchise.
You
You
wanna
can
say
sell
that-
little tires. You
You
know,
wanna
kids
say
will be
there-
playing with
People
them.
want to say there is no reason to this movie, but I think there is reason to this movie. And wouldn't that make it meta? And isn't that what this fucking movie is? It's just a big piece of meta.
It is a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
or just a commentary on. Well, it has to be meta because it's making commentary on itself. So yes.
Yeah. That's what I think. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk more about what everybody else thinks.
In the Steven Spielberg movie E.T., why is the alien brown? No reason. In Love Story, why did the two characters fall madly in love with each other? No reason. In Oliver Stone's JFK, why is the president suddenly assassinated by some stranger? No reason. In the excellent Chainsaw Massacre by Tobe Hooper, why don't we ever see the characters go to the bathroom or wash their hands like people do in real life? Absolutely no reason. Worse, in The Pianist by Polanski.
All right, guys, we're back, and we are talking about the 2010 film 2000. Where am I? 2010 film Rubber. Let's get into it a little bit. I do want to talk about the cinematography because bravo.
Yeah.
That's one thing I could say in this film gets right. 100% is the cinematography.
The sound design too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything,
on
yeah.
The
point.
way it was, all that.
The way it was shot,
technical
he
stuff.
really utilizes depth of field really well.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I thought it was beautiful. in
Like
this.
yeah, I mean, you get anytime you want to see those cascading mountains, he gets it all in there,
Mhm.
and then when he just wants to focus in on that,
Yeah, great
That-
use of
that
depth of
tire?
field and
Oh, yeah.
perspective as well. Like,
It's the best way I've ever seen a tire shot.
It's the only way.
Take that, Michelin.
Well, I guess it's not the only way, but there isn't another. Is there another movie like this out there?
No.
What do you mean? In
Like
which
about
way?
a tire or about
It's
an
about
inanimate
something
object?
as meaningless as a tire as the main character.
Not that I know of.
Not really. Not that I can think of
Mm.
either. I don't know. Just I like the camera tricks. I love like some of the just how they shot the tire, like being wobbly, and gave it. They give it a lot of character in the movement of the tire.
Yeah, even when it was shaking around, getting ready to blow up ahead.
Yeah.
like the way it would move was like I was.
It was almost like I was getting pushed out.
I
from
was curious
within.
how they did that. Actually, what did they put in there to make it all?
I don't know what they did for that. I know
Amateur.
for the actual like tire itself, the movement is like 90% just a puppeteer who's actually like pushing the tire like next to the camera, and then for 10 or so shots in the film, they had a tire that actually was on a remote control. That way they can have the tire come to a complete stop and then start again.
Oh yeah, that was so good. I was like, I thought it might have been computer generated or something, but
Zero CGI in this film.
which is super
zero,
impressive.
yeah.
Super impressive.
then I wonder how that wobbling. I wonder how he did. Not the wobbling, the
Yeah,
pulsating.
the pulsating.
Yeah.
The
I
only
was like,
thi-
that shouldn't be too hard
The
to
only
do in
thing
CG.
I could think of, because like when it was pulsating, there was never. I don't think there was ever like a shot of the tire 100% when it was shaking. It was always
No.
a close shot.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if somebody was just on the side of it, like pressing against it really hard to like kind of make it flex
Well,
and bend like it was doing.
And using things like editing techniques, that's not really CG, right? Like things like After Effects and
Yeah.
After Effects is CG, yeah.
that's CG.
Yeah, it's computer generated effect.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I didn't know. CG isn't like computer graphics, right?
Computer generated.
Oh, it's
Computer graphic
generated?
effect?
I don't know. I don't
Computer
know.
graphic effect?
I don't know. I'm an editor.
I was thinking maybe they put like a little. This might be really out of left field, but put like a little robot thing in there that they could control with a remote control and just kind of moved around, almost like animatronics.
I think that's
sort
probably
of.
what
Like a
they did.
puppeteering thing,
I was saying like you could just put an RC car into like a tire. If it moves forward, then
Right.
the tire is moving forward. If you
Well,
hit
no,
reverse,
in
it could
theory,
stop.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that
I
actually
mean,
works.
He's speaking. I think you're talking more about it bending and flexing. Which
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
prob-
yeah,
that-
that's
Oh,
a-
I thought you were talking
yeah.
about it moving.
The
Okay.
actual it moving is that's probably exactly what they did. It's probably some kind of like wheel in there that had a motor on it, and it moved forward. It stopped. It did. That's how they made
See, this is
the
why they got
controlled
BB-8s.
movement.
This is the precursor to BB-8.
Probably,
I mean,
honestly, yeah.
Five-
that's how they
feeling, I
say
guess.
it.
$500,000 budget. I mean, that's pretty ambitious for a low budget like that.
Most of it probably went into the head pops because there's a lot of them. Do you think that was kind of hindering to the film that it was head pop after, like it got unspecial as they went on?
You know what? It was almost like it was like if somebody like tells a bad joke and they just keep harping on
Well,
it.
that-
Like it's like, oh shit. Then the next couple you're like, oh, okay, and then by the end of it you're seeing like 3 more towards the end. You start laughing because of how ridiculous it is.
That leads me to another question. That I had written down. Is this a one joke film?
This one is, but if they do a sequel, maybe they could have it like roll over a knife and fling it up at somebody. Like instead of just a head pop the whole
Go
time.
real
Yeah.
like Killer Tomatoes with it.
I would say it's not a one joke film because there are other jokes that go on in the film. The cop getting shot and then saying it's not real, and
Yeah.
then getting
Yeah.
shot and being like, "Oh, it's real." And I like how he touches the wound,
Yeah.
like almost like he isn't. Wait, we have one person watching. Wait, does this mean I'm dead? Okay, no, I'm still alive. Okay,
I know. I
just
like that.
ignore the fact that I'm bleeding.
The comedy of that part is like, okay, yeah, forget what I said, guys, and he just walks back over to the dad,
Yeah.
and he goes right back to interview, picked up right where he left off, but covered in blood.
Right,
Like,
yeah. It's great. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think the head pops get too old because we're talking about it's absurdist film. That's
Yeah.
what this is.
Well, that's what I'm
So,
saying. That's what I'm
The
saying.
more absurd and even cheap it can look, it's fine.
That's
by
what
me.
I'm saying. Is that the one joke? Because again, that joke you guys just described is absurd. So is that the one joke that this film just relies on? Is showing the absurd or taking things to an absurd level?
I don't
on
know.
everything?
I think it's just
I
the
mean,
way.
maybe, but maybe it's showing the absurdity in various different ways. I mean, yeah, the head pop's definitely a big part of it, but just the whole comedy aspect of like the cop trying to like finish this film that he doesn't want to finish anymore was pretty funny, and that's absurd in itself, right?
Yeah, the audience was.
yeah.
You know,
The
I mean,
fucking the weird creepy assistant guy.
yeah.
Like
I just think
that whole scene too when he's like preparing the dinner, he's on the phone and it just pans over it and there's a whole fucking live turkey in his fucking
Yeah.
the whole time like where did he cook it? Like
why-
where
why
did
no
he
reason?
cook that?
I just think
turkey.
the head pop was its method of killing. Like it's no different than that. What was that stupid
No,
film
yeah.
came out, Gallows or something like that, where the guy kills everybody with a noose. Like the worst goddamn weapon ever. Like
There's a
you
lot of
just-
effort involved.
Jason's known for the machete. Freddy's
Yeah.
known for the finger gloves.
Again, we're
Yeah.
going back to horror movies, but this movie has nothing to do with horror films,
Nah.
Chris.
no,
right?
I didn't
It
say
don't.
it had nothing to do with
Yeah,
horror
right.
films.
I'm just kidding. Of course, it
The-
has something to do with
the
horror
question
films.
the question you brought up was whether or not the commentary was specific to horror films, and I don't know. Maybe.
You're wrong though.
Oh,
You
God.
picked this movie.
Cody's got
I
his arms crossed.
I do,
In
I have
case
my-
anybody wants to know.
If you want to talk a little bit about style and editing, again, I think this is a movie that you can watch for style and editing and just see top-notch style and editing. Honestly, honestly is like my favorite word today.
And and apparently
Style and editing.
style and editing.
That if I had an editor's place or like a studio, that's what I would call it.
Style and editing.
No, top-notch style and editing.
Top notch.
Love it.
Not just style and editing, it's top notch.
Top-notch. You gotta
Okay.
let them know.
Yeah.
You gotta let them know that you're.
That's better than like
I-
the bottom notch
No,
editing.
no
Yeah,
one.
you don't wanna be
you don't
there.
ever want to be the bottom.
You don't want to be
Yeah,
the
you don't
bottom.
wanna be the bottom.
You don't want to be
Especially when it comes
subpar
to notches.
editing.
Yeah.
Subpar
Subpar-
notch editing.
Okay, editing.
The complete production on this film
Like,
is just
I'll
well
get it
done.
done.
No, it's solid. The production is solid. Now, is the story and the script good?
Yes,
I think so.
You
Yeah, I
think the
think
script
so.
is good?
they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they took a tire, an inanimate object, and by sheer just sheer like storytelling and plot, they managed to make you feel for it, and it gave it. They could. What's what I'm trying
They
to
gave emotional context
Yeah.
to a tire. Yeah.
like?
Okay, the dialogue. Do you think
No,
the dialogue is good?
Yes, actually, I think it is.
It's not
Yeah.
bad at all.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and the actors are fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
these are all unknowns, and they're wonderful. Even Mike, you were saying that, right?
Yeah, I was just noting I hadn't seen a single. I didn't recognize a single
Oh, either
face
did I.
in this entire film, and yet everyone put forth a pretty solid performance. I guess the weakest guy I would say was maybe the dad,
Yeah.
but that's about it. You know,
Yeah.
everybody else. The kid was good.
It just felt like they all fit in that story.
Yeah.
Like it felt like everybody kind of got it. Like whatever was going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you right now. I thought.
How can you get it if there's no reason, Chris?
I don't know.
Oh,
Get over
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Depends what the director told
Yeah,
him.
let's move past the no reason thing.
I'll say that I loved that scene where she's talking into the microphone as the mannequin,
yeah.
Yes.
and it's just such. It was purposely bad dialogue,
Yeah.
and she's just like, "Come get me, Tyre.
So
get me,
Come
Tyre."
on, do it,
Dude, that
Blow-
scene made me
blow up
laugh
my
so
head.
hard.
I thought it was great.
the sheriff gets on, then the other cop's like, "It's not working. Go back to the woman voice."
Yeah.
I think he suspects something.
So fucking funny.
That
I
shit was
love that scene.
hilarious.
So then, do you guys think that? It all plays into the no reason bullshit. Like it's hard. Okay, here's the thing. Here's why it's hard to talk about this.
What if
film,
we
right?
abandon that
Because-
that concept?
Well,
for
no, you
reason?
can't abandon that concept because that's
for
what
the
this
sake
whole,
of for the sake of the podcast.
No, that's what this whole film is about. Though you can't abandon that. That's why like you can't care about the characters because no reason, right?
That's not true.
No.
And do you think
you're-
there's a
you're
strong
misreading
buildup
that.
of any character
You're
besides
you're
the tire?
misreading that.
Do you think there is a
The
buildup?
no reason doesn't apply to the audience. The no reason applies to whatever the filmmaker wants it to apply to.
Yeah.
The no reason doesn't prevent me from having any kind of emotional connection with the characters.
Who
portrayed
did
on
you have an
film.
emotional connection with that you were like, oh my god, I hope they make it through this?
The tire.
Well,
exactly. The tire's
wait,
the
wait,
only
wait.
one they build a relationship.
I like the
with.
cop. I think the cop.
Yeah,
But
Cop was
I think
awesome.
he's likable because of he's obviously got a charisma and he's got a charm to him. But I don't think that
Nobody
you
cared
don't-
about the kid.
Lieutenant,
Nobody cared
the
about the kid.
lieutenant. I
Which
kind of
kid?
cared about him too.
The kid with like no relationship with his
Father, and
estranged father.
yeah, and they make a whole point that the father's a total asshole,
Yeah.
and that the kid, he has to go get the pizza. He
No,
has to drive
because
and
they
invite
kill
you
him
to
off
pizza.
halfway through the film.
He's also the only character that ever makes a connection with the tire.
Yeah.
And they're
really
not-
early
and-
on.
And they're sub characters. So
But
they're not even putting a
if
a big
they blew
emphasis
up
on
that
it.
kid's head, well, he's like, "Hey, Tire," and the Tire's just like, "What's up?" And he was like, "Hey, you know what? Did you kill that woman, Tire? Tell me about your life, Tire." And then he blew his head up. I would have felt horrible.
Yeah. I agree.
Why would you have felt horrible because you understand the character of the kid or because it's a kid?
No, because I
character of
understand the
kid.
character of the kid because he's trying to understand the Tire. He's the only person in this whole thing, maybe except for the French girl, but that really comes like towards the end, really.
She just seems indifferent.
Yeah,
the whole time.
she does. She's just got that weird French indifference.
Yeah,
like, I'm here and this is this. But
This is shit the America.
yeah.
you
I think
know.
you guys are reading too much into the connections, honestly.
what is it?
I don't think so.
What do
It's
you
good
mean?
writing.
They made a connection. I'm not reading anything into it. It's objective. The kid tries to understand the Tire.
Yeah.
He talks to the Tire. He's the only character that makes any attempt to be like, Tire, why are you doing this?
And it does seem like they kind of have a little moment and then the tire rolls off, right?
Yeah.
Again, but that it's showing strength towards the tire. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think I think the tire is the one with obviously the most character, oddly enough, and it's a fucking tire.
Which was
That's
which I think is amazing.
That's,
Which
yeah, that's
goes,
fantastic
goes
to
to the-
create that
yeah.
much.
But I also see it says something about the other characters. Now, granted, they're all sub characters. They are all sub characters. Granted, they're not the main character. Obviously, the tire.
And not
is.
only that, let's also establish that they're also somehow players in this weird fake world that apparently exists only to show it for this audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So that also brings up like, are you caring about fake characters then? Because
anytime I watch a movie, I'm caring about fake characters.
Yeah,
because
okay,
everything I
that's-
watch is fake.
Yeah.
Unless it's a biopic.
well, is that okay? But I'm saying, is that something that the director is saying? Like, was that a byproduct of the
a
film,
byproduct
or is
of
that
good-
something that you think he was consciously trying to make
It's
a
a
decision?
byproduct
to
of
say?
a
no way.
well-written
Yeah,
script.
there's no way that you can't. There's no way making a film, making a piece of fiction that you can't try to do that. Like I don't understand what you're even
Yeah.
asking. Are you saying that did the director consciously make a decision to take fictional characters and try to give them some sort of
Well,
emotion
no,
or
because
reason? That's
He
that's
no,
everything.
he comes out.
Yeah.
He comes out and says, and even the cop is pretty much, we're fictional characters. We're not real, but everyone thinks this is real. You even have a fake alligator under your arm. So there is some self-awareness of knowing that they're a character. Is it a trick on the audience to get them? They're coming out and saying, "Hey, audience, these are fake characters. You shouldn't care about these people's heads getting blown up, anyways." But you do.
Yes, you have to.
I didn't care so much about the people's heads got blown up. It was more like the main characters that we stuck with, like the lieutenant, the tire, the cop. Even I would say the guy, the host of the whole thing, who like provided all the
But
binoculars.
did you care about their deaths, or were you like, cool, they died? I feel like the death I felt the most care about was, again, the tire.
Right.
It was so quick. It was so quick.
I understand that, and I think that was also deliberate. Was
Yeah.
to just
Be like, look how quick
It was
make me mad.
anticlimactic.
But let me tell
Yeah.
you something about, like, just in terms of characterization. I'll tell you when you immediately care about a character, anytime it starts establishing itself. Like, anytime you can relate to something, that's immediately when you start caring. That's just basic human nature.
Well,
I
who
think.
did you relate to the most? The kids?
I completely understood the kid's point of view. I understood that he had a shitty father. That was established.
Yeah.
Okay. He obviously had a bad lot in life. He sees this tire that only he believes is alive for a little bit
Yeah.
until everybody starts seeing this thing killing everything. And like his first reaction is not to say, "Hey, we need to destroy this tire." His first reaction is to say, "Hey, tire, like, what's going on? Can you be salvaged?"
So you can
as
answer
a-
that because you're sensitive.
What does that have to do?
What kind of
Yeah,
what kind of stupid cut is
Everybody got all
that?
uncomfortable.
Jesus.
I'm saying, see, you can't make a joke when it gets too serious here on Cold Film and Review, because
my
then Big
God.
Brother Kyle gets upset.
That is, but it is true. I'm
He's gotta
very
come in,
sensitive.
gotta
I-
come in and protect his siblings.
I've cried at every Pixar film, so yeah, I'm pretty sensitive.
The dinosaur one made me cry.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen it either.
He's the best dinosaur, though.
That's what I hear.
He's the good dinosaur. Every other assholes. Assholes.
I'm just saying, I had no connection to any of the characters. I thought they were all interesting, but in no way was I like, oh, that character represents me in any way. No way. And who's the hero? The tire?
It's like the anti-hero.
But he's also the hero.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Cop
know. I don't know if he
would
could
be-
quite be considered a hero because like what was his cause that he was like championing for? You
No
know
reason.
What I mean?
No reason, just to destroy. He's like the Terminator. He's the Terminator.
But
of
you
tires.
definitely feel for the tire.
You do. Because
You
it has a
definitely feel for
character.
it.
It has the most developed character.
Hold
in
on,
the film.
wait. No, there is one thing that we understand. That's something that we can all relate to. He is kind of in love with the French girl.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's what I was saying earlier.
So that's a redeeming thing that we see. I
and
mean,
it takes showers. It's human.
it wants to be clean. No, it definitely, and that's another thing too. It's true that the fact that this tire doesn't understand, it's trying to be human.
Yeah,
and
it
then when
saw
it
her
realizes that it
showering.
isn't, it kind of that's a sad moment when it's looking
Yeah,
in
that
the
was a
mirror.
really powerful moment.
Yeah, where he's like, "Holy shit! Like I'm a fucking tire."
And
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do about it.
I don't.
Like,
I don't
it's-
look like any of these other people. Like
Yeah.
what the hell? Yeah.
How can I live my life looking like this?
Human
tire?
needs
I mean,
of a
it was
tire.
this
French girl will never
I
love me.
thought it was really funny
Yeah.
because upon immediately upon realizing that, like the next scene is he's just sitting in a recliner watching NASCAR, just like I
Yeah.
wish he had a beer in his hand. He's just like
Well, you know what's
drinking his
interesting about
lot
it-
in life away.
Well,
That's what it felt like.
I also kind of took it as he was trying to relate to tires.
Yeah, he's like,
Like-
is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
So this
Am I
is
supposed
my
to be
kind.
going around
this
circles?
This was my purpose. Oh crap! That's what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be attached to this bigger machine.
Yeah,
Well, screw that. I'm killing everybody.
exactly.
Was that his motivation?
Yeah, he's just pissed because he
Yeah.
knows what he's doomed for.
Would you be mad if you woke up and you're like, I just want to be part of this wonderful. Don't get me wrong. There's some weird things. Like, why does it immediately go to killing things?
Maybe this is about reincarnation.
I don't know. Maybe it has to do with immaturity.
It does
and not
reincarnate at the end.
knowing difference of right and wrong.
Yeah, because he
Because
definitely.
you're not as like a human. You're not born instantly with the knowledge of right and wrong.
That's true.
That's
That's
something
true.
that is learned and taught.
And I think
so-
that's like the kid was kind of like trying to get to that point. Like, why are
Yeah.
you doing this? Like, hey, another interesting thing is that, like, do you think he was trying to kill the girl when she was driving past him the first time?
No, I think he pretty much was like done with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm over you. And he's like, "Pfft," and he took off.
I
That's
think
why he
he-
kind of gave like the half look and then just went on with the rest of his.
No, but he was pulsating right
yeah,
at the
he
beginning
stopped
of the film.
car. He
He
got her
tried to stop the car. Do you think he was just trying to stop the car to talk to the girl? Do you think he fell in love with that, like love at first
No,
sight kind of thing?
no,
or-
I think
do.
what it was is like everything that he had approached so far. He had like, okay, I see here's a scorpion that moves. I'm gonna run it over. Here's a bunny. This thing moves. I'm gonna blow that up. And he saw another bigger thing moving, and he was like, oh, I wonder if I can blow that up. I thought
Yeah.
it was pure curiosity than anything else.
You know,
I don't even think he realized the woman was even in the car.
you know what? That actually does lead to something about maybe how he was learning things because he doesn't kill the maid right off the bat.
Mm-mm.
The only reason I felt like he killed the maid was because she threw him out of the thing, got him dirty again.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But maybe at that point he was like, you know what? I'm kind of feeling for these humans. I think I'm human. I'm going to try to take a shower like I saw the girl taking a shower.
Exactly.
And then when this girl throws him out, it's like, what are you saying? I'm not one of you? Fuck
Yeah.
you. And then
And
blows her
then
heads off.
he went right back into that primal emotion
Yeah.
of rage and anger.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There it is.
There
in
it
a
is.
In a nutshell.
Look, I'm not saying that this is a tough piece.
It is.
It's almost like experimental film.
Yeah.
If it isn't, if it probably just is. It's experimenting with
it's experimenting
ideas
with a
of story
totally abstract
and how
idea,
yeah,
an
yeah.
abstract concept.
So you can't understand it all.
How'd you feel about
No.
the pacing?
I thought it was good. I thought it was on point. I didn't
Oh,
think it was a
God.
long movie.
Yeah, it went by fast for me.
No.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Not at all.
By the time it was over, I was like, "Wow, this movie's only 115 minutes, or like, 115 minutes."
Not me. I kept on checking the time. Like, is this thing about done?
I think you just didn't like the movie,
I
so
think-
so like you just
I think
didn't.
I think it would have been a great short film. It would have been a great short film.
I
It would
think
been
it
an
might
epic
have
short
started that way. Did it start that way or
No.
no?
I have
Okay.
no idea,
Nope.
but you know what, Cody? I'm going to 100% agree with you on that.
It could have been
I
epic
actually
short
did
film.
think
For the
if this was
First
made
10
a short
minutes would have been
film,
a short.
it would have won an award. I think this thing would have won awards if it
Yeah.
was a short film.
Dude, you're stretching it at 86
It would have
minutes
been
of
like
this
Tree
movie.
Venge. If you think about it, same
would've-
concept.
It's the
Yes.
same concept, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is.
It is. He
Oh,
just
there you go.
dragged it
That
out.
answers your question, by the way. Is there another film like this? Yeah, Tree Venge.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
to
that's
some
true.
extent.
I guess that's
I mean,
true.
that was a little,
Yeah.
that was playing it a little more straight than this. It was less experimental to some extent because
Yeah.
it wasn't. Oh, the audience was like this.
I'd say
chorus.
Tree Venge was more definitely rooted in like horror. Well, I know
Oh,
that's
that was
comedy
just-
too.
that was
I don't
just
know. I
X
can't
black
even say.
comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just black comedy.
Anyways, Rubber. No, it's not about condoms.
It's not about.
Until the
You
sequel
know, the
comes
title
out.
was really misleading, guys. When I
Yeah.
first watched it, I thought we were watching a porno flick. Turns out it's about a goddamn tire.
Psych.
I had my lotion out, my napkins ready to go.
napkins. That's so rough.
I was all wrapped. It's just there to catch, bro. I'm not jerking with a napkin.
Why not? Just shred napkins all
not?
day.
See that's what needs to be the porn parody of this film. Rubbers.
Oh, I just thought it. I
It's
just
just
thought
condoms rolling through the
Yeah.
desert.
I just thought it was an
Just
hour
trying
and
to
a half
attach themselves
long.
to dicks.
It was an hour and a half long special of how it's made. That's what I thought it was. Rubbers.
Yeah.
Rubber.
Would it be funny? It turns out to be a documentary.
Yeah.
Here we are at the Trojan factory, and we use the best. And some people are allergic to latex, so we have a polyurethane here.
Lambskin.
And it's really interesting how this gets done. Like, yeah.
All right, guys.
Jesus Christ.
When we come back, we'll rate this movie, and then we're gonna play a new game.
You can't stop here, man. Come on, what kind of racket you running? Hey, wait! It's not the end! He's been reincarnated as a tricycle! Come on! No, wait. I'm not a character, I'm just watching. You just stay there. Stay put. No, stay put. Good.
All right, guys, we're back, and we're gonna rate Rubber. What are we rating this, Mike?
Rubbers.
We rate this Rubbers.
Rubbers. Okay.
All right. Are they? Let me ask you a question.
Used rubbers.
Used rubbers or
Or fresh ones.
fresh ones?
Freshies
Yeah, out of the package.
out of the package. Rubbers.
Out of the package, rubbers. Okay.
Pin popped rubbers.
Let's start with Chris. How many rubbers would you give Rubber?
Rubber's getting 3.5 for me. I liked this movie. I did. I was, like I said, first time I saw it, was looking forward to it. And honestly, I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be kind of weird and artsy and have a little bit of that horror element to it, and hopefully some comedy. And I was pleasantly surprised because I did think this movie was oddly funny. I think the director is really smart, and I think he knows what he's doing, and he's a good writer too. I know he went on to do some other films, so it wasn't like this was a one and done for him. So yeah, I would recommend this to anybody that wants to just see something a little different. 3.5.
All right, 3.5. I will go next. I will give this movie 2 rubbers.
That is higher than I thought you would give.
It's because technically this film is sound. It was made very well. I can't knock it for that, but I think everything is just mild in this movie. To me, it's a slow-paced film. Nothing is like too crazy, but nothing again is like, it's weird, but it's not too weird. I don't know. It's just, it's mild to me. I give it 2. 2 rubbers.
2 rubbers.
Used. Kyle?
I'm gonna go 3.5 as well. I agree with Chris on a lot of stuff he said. I mean, it is an artsy film, and I mean, there's points that we brought up tonight where maybe the film was lagging, but I could give a shit. I think it's entertaining. It's weird. I thought there were a lot of parts that had humor to it, and gore and stuff. I thought it was a well-made film overall. Like, it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, that's for sure, because it doesn't follow the traditional structure of like a film per se in terms of like
what we're all used to.
Yeah, what you're gonna be used to. It's definitely an art house film, but I think it's really good. I enjoyed it, so 3.5.
All right, Mike, you're next.
I am gonna go along with you two guys. I think 3.5 is a fine rating, a fine amount of rubbers.
Just don't ever try to put on a half a rubber.
Is that just like 3?
Doesn't work out.
3
Yeah.
what, the
Don't-
back half or the front half?
It's just halfway rolled up.
You gotta be safe.
Everybody
practice safe sex.
I pictured
please.
the graphic it being a rubber cut in half.
Yeah.
Definitely not the
just
rubber
the
you
tip.
want.
Let me tell you something.
Just
When
the tip
when
of
it
the
comes
rubber?
to rubbers, you don't want to half-ass a rubber.
No.
Okay, because that could lead to some mistakes.
So
You want to go all ass with the rubber.
Are you disagreeing?
Full ass.
Are you disagreeing with everything they said about the film already?
No.
Finish what you're. I'm sorry. Go on your tangent.
I totally respect what this filmmaker was trying to do. Beautifully shot, very, very witty. But going back to it, don't know if he really drove it home. I don't know if he really drove it home enough where I watched this film and said to myself, "Wow, this has changed my perspective on life." Like, he just didn't hit it hard enough. I've seen better things. Like, I think Eraserhead does a little bit more with its experimental and what it makes you feel and the emotion it elicits. This one felt like it was a little too, I don't know.
On the mild side?
No. I just don't think he drove the point home. I don't think he put a pin in it. You know?
I think he.
You don't want to do that with a tire.
No.
Or
no.
rubber.
Or a rubber.
You definitely
Never.
don't want to pin a rubber.
Uh-uh.
I think I would say it changed my perspective a little bit because, just in terms of filmmaking and storytelling, like the simple fact that you got me to care about an inanimate object with zero dialogue, all with just imagery, like that's solid filmmaking.
I think
right there.
I agree with you 100%.
That's fantastic storytelling.
But it's also bare bones filmmaking.
But that's a good thing. I think that's a
No. As a like, if you're a filmmaker and you're trying to like learn how to like get a character, like how to
Develop
write a
a
character and
character?
develop one,
Yeah.
like this is about as
With
basic
zero
as you can
exposition.
get.
Yeah, this is a great movie.
Like,
to
it's
watch.
a great thing to watch. But again, with the bigger picture, this is a film about nothing or whatever. What was it? Whatever.
Who cares?
No reason.
Yeah, right. I don't know that he really drove that home for me. So
Well,
3.5.
He didn't even get it right in the monologue.
No, he doesn't. He
So-
doesn't.
So lower your score. I'm just
No,
kidding.
it's 3.5.
I'm just
This
kidding.
3.5 is where I'm keeping.
Guys, oh my God, take a joke tonight. Jesus. Fucking Christ.
We would if you would stop yelling.
Yeah. You know what's not funny? True anger. Look what that did to Michael Richards. Not good.
All right, so let's go into our new game. Quote, film, and review. We're going to give 3 quotes from a movie. Whoever guesses the movie right first gets a point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. Woo!
Sounds good.
Who wants to go first?
I just
Who's
felt
excited about their movie?
I just wooed. I mean,
all right, Kyle, go ahead.
I just wooed.
Kyle, go ahead. I'm thinking about Kyle and what I know about Kyle and what John Carpenter film this will be.
Oh, man, Cody better get his guess.
It's gonna be a Western.
Get his guess.
I
ready.
predict I'm going
gonna be
to
a
suck at this
Western.
game, by the way.
Okay, let's do it. Mike.
All right, first quote.
Chris.
Am I supposed to act this, or can I just read it straight?
You can do whatever.
If
I'll
you
read
act
straight.
it might give it away.
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
is all
that's
I'm
true.
saying.
Straight.
I'll just read it straight. Well, there's no reason why you should have heard me. No, that's not a Jewish name. How much do I make a year? Well, how much do you make a year? Really? That was the first quote.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Thank you. Mozart's dead. His problems are over. Help me.
Help me.
Oh.
This is a tough one.
Chris got a hand up
no,
already?
no, I'm playing with
No,
my
no,
hair.
no, he's playing with
I'm
his hair.
nervous.
He's
You're
nervous.
playing. So you were going oohing and ahhing
should be the
because of
giveaway.
your hair play?
No, because I was thinking hard about what you're saying right now.
This should be the giveaway right here. This should be the giveaway.
Why is that?
Because if you're playing nicely, that's how you play.
This probably will be the giveaway. The union forces you all to go to lunch in spite of the way you've played. Those of you with consciences will not be able to eat, and those whose consciences match your talents, go stuff yourselves. I hope you choke.
Oh my God, it's on the edge of my brain.
I'm gonna throw out a guess.
That one right
I'm
there.
gonna throw out a guess. Bowfinger.
Wrong.
Okay.
Okay. God damn, can you read that last one more time?
No, it's gonna help you too much.
Oh.
I'll do it without laughing. How about that?
Okay.
The union forces me to allow you to go to lunch in spite of the way you've played. Those of you with consciences will not be able to eat, and those whose consciences match your talents, go stuff yourselves. I hope you choke.
I have no idea.
Throw out a guess. 5.
I haven't put my hand up.
Chris,
Four.
I feel like
Two.
he's like, I don't know.
Throw out a guess.
No.
What do you have to lose? You either get it right or you get it wrong. What's the answer? Because no one knows.
Chris, you gonna throw something out there?
Fucking.
I feel like you're gonna be the closest one to guessing this.
I don't know why I'm even thinking this right now. But
I'm just gonna retire.
What you got?
A League of Their Own.
Oh no! I thought you were so close, but you weren't.
What was it, Kyle?
The Money Pit.
Ah, see, because I knew I heard that recently.
Yeah, we just watched that recently, like a few weekends ago.
All right, who's up
Good
next?
one. Good one.
Who's
There
up
you go.
next?
I got a point.
Up to you. Pick somebody.
Yeah, be the
Mike.
host.
All right, you guys ready? You guys ready for this one? The first quote is, I'm sorry.
I fucked it
I
up.
screwed it up
Woody
already.
Allen. It's a Woody Allen film. Definitely a Woody Allen film.
People, okay. Take the fucking elephant. Take the fucking elephant.
It could be Operation Dumbo Drop.
Uh-huh.
Not my guess.
Could
Not my
be.
guess, but it
Could be.
but could be.
Could be. I got another guess, but I'm gonna wait for the
Okay.
second one.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too. Me too.
Second one is, you truly are one ugly son of a bitch.
Okay. All right. I think I know.
Do you want to answer?
No,
now?
no. I'm waiting for the third.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta
Be
wait
safe.
too. I want.
Okay. The third one is, he's a cockroach. First you think you can kill him, and then he pops right back up again.
Okay. Can I guess?
Yes, you can.
Sin City.
You are so wrong.
Fuck.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Wrong.
Did you say Can't Buy Me Love?
Yeah.
16 Candles?
Wrong.
Okay.
You guys are way off.
I was.
Cody's actually probably the closest.
Rumble Drop?
It was Darkman.
Wow, I would have never
Oh,
guessed it.
Dark
Holy shit,
Man.
okay.
Good one. That was a good one, actually.
Okay. So now I have a point. Yay.
Would never guess that.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go
Oh,
next.
I feel like this is going to be a draw. Good game, Cody.
I'll go next. It's the hockey team from hell.
Mighty Ducks?
Wait. Are we guessing?
I'm ready.
You can guess
I
whatever.
just threw my guess out there right
You're
now.
wrong.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
You're wrong.
What?
Yeah, I should have waited for the next
What
clues.
killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Not the one I wanted.
Here
to pick.
comes the last clue. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Stay cool, bird boy.
I'm wrong anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Stay Cool, Bird Boy.
Yep. It's all from the same character. I'm giving you an extra hint.
Read it one more time, quick.
Stay cool, bird boy was number 3. It's the hockey team from hell. And what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
That's a hockey movie.
Is it?
Is it though?
It's the hockey team.
Or is it a baseball movie? Little Green Giants? That's a soccer movie, right?
Little Green Giants.
Little Green Giant. It's like 3 movies in one. Little Green Giant. It's Kindergarten Cop. That one's the sequel.
Oh God, it's the hockey team from hell. That's the one that's
That's the
hanging
one-
me up.
Yeah, it's yeah. Who's Bird Boy?
You already gave your answer.
What are you reminding me
Teenage
for? I know.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that was
Hold
very
on.
close.
Wait, can I I don't get a point for this. Was it Dogma?
No.
Oh shit.
Is it? Is it? Oh shit! Is it? It's not. It's not Double Dragon, is it?
No, it's actually Batman and Robin, and those are all Mr. Freeze lines.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh my
except for
Son of a bitch.
The hockey team from hell is Robin.
Okay.
Bird Boy would be Robin.
Oh god damn
I
it.
thought when the bird, even the Bird Boy thing, I was like, oh, is it? Does he say it's one of the angels? Oh, okay, it's Dogma, and I was like,
That's definitely not Dogma.
And the scene I was thinking was when the kids.
Why
came.
couldn't you pick Chill
can't
Out?
Yeah.
I thought.
All right, so the three of us have points. Chris, I guess it's up to you.
There we
this
go.
is the deciding factor whether
So-
somebody wins or
Okay.
And it might be a 4-way tie.
It might be a four-way
Listen,
tie.
we are known for our 4-ways here
Yeah.
at Cult Film and Review.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. Visions are worth fighting for. Why spend your life making someone else's dreams?
Could be Operation Dumbo Drop.
Again, yeah.
Could
It's
be.
a solid choice.
Congo's coming back.
I heard nothing about the communications industry. It's not Congo.
This is the one. This is the one I'll be remembered for.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And the third one is bullshit. I'm ready now. Roll the camera.
Cecil B. Demented.
Nope.
Ah! I think Mike has a guess.
Is it Ed Wood?
It is Ed Wood.
Yes!
Wow, Mike
Son of a
is
bitch.
the clear winner tonight on
Oh.
Quote Films in Review. An amazingly boring game that we tried for the first time tonight on this podcast. Who knows if we'll go back to it because it's like so much of our other games.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Games across radio or just audio-only games, they're hard to come by.
They are. We just make these up on the
If you
spot.
have suggestions for games for us
Yeah.
to play, please
send them in along with your fan picks. We're always on the lookout for fan picks. We're always finding new films. It's great when we get fan picks, so send those in. Make sure you follow us at Cult Film in Review on Twitter.
Cult Film _reviews.
Reviews. Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh my God, what is today? Cody Mess Up Day? That's what it sounds like.
Cody messed up.
You know, I did see that on my Outlook.
Was that on there? I feel like it was on there. Full moon and Cody messes up. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at cultfilm_review. You follow us on Twitter at cultfilm_review. You can follow us on Facebook also. You can follow Mike
at Mike Salustio on Twitter, and you can catch me writing about film, and I really am doing it this time.
Oh my God!
On friendlyneighborhoodfilmmaking.com.
Oh shit!
You can follow me at cultfilm
Phonetically nailed
Cody
it.
on Twitter. You can follow Kyle at.
You can follow me on Twitter, cultfilm_Kyle.
Chris doesn't want anybody to follow him, so make sure you guys find him.
Yeah, Mr. fucking.
No,
Boo
you could.
face.
Anybody can follow me. I just don't like
Just follow.
announcing it.
Just follow Midnight Releasings. That's all he
Yeah,
wants you
that's
to
all he
follow.
cares
on it.
Yeah, go buy some horror movies. Support the independent film community.
Don't
do
forget.
that.
Don't forget that both Mike and Chris have films in the Phoenix Film Festival, and they will be out there for that. So if you see them out there, say hi and watch their movies.
Yes,
Reality and
Best Day Ever by
Best Day
Angel
Ever.
Ruiz.
Rodesa.
So make sure he's a great filmmaker. Make sure you guys go out there and you watch these films. And remember, if you're gonna join a cult, make sure they watch good movies.